If you've been following Summer League or just been on social media, you've probably seen that Bronny James, the 55th pick, has really been struggling in these first 4 games. Now, this video is not designed to troll him or to get into the conversation of whether he should have been drafted or not. I want to use this video to break down the details of why he's struggling so that you understand the game more, and if you ever find yourself in a slump, you have some tools to get out of it. The first thing that everybody's been talking about is his shooting struggles. So in the 4 games that Bronny played, he was 0 of 15 from 3, which obviously is not good, but if you see where he's missing these shots, a lot of them are either in and out, front rim, or back rim, which speaks to the fact that he's not off by much and just needs more reps, probably in game-like situations, to dial it in. The bigger concern is what we're going to talk about next, and this is something that you need to pay attention to in your own game. When you're struggling to hit easy rhythm catch and shoot shots, the worst thing you can do is compound that problem by taking heavily contested, difficult shots when you don't have to. And this is something Bronny did several times in the middle of what he's calling a shooting slump, which actually just makes the problem worse. Because when you are struggling to make shots, that's when you want to try and get the easiest rhythm shots available to see the ball go in and build your confidence back. But as his defender is stunting on this play, basketball players know that this kick-out 3 is the rhythm 3 that you want to shoot to get going, but he hesitates, jabs, and now he's shooting another contested shot. And so much of being a good shooter is anticipating when you're going to get your shot and being confident when you shoot it, and you can tell he's just second-guessing himself right now, and it's making it worse. Now, I will say that there's been a few possessions where he was given a grenade, which is a situation where you get the ball late clock and you're basically forced to shoot a shot that you don't want to shoot, but you have to, and the percentage of those shots is much lower. But what this has resulted in is that now defenders are starting to go under every screen and essentially giving him the right of way to shoot threes, and that can magnify the problem because now you feel forced to shoot because you're open, and then as you continue to miss, it just reinforces to the defense to continue to go under. Now, the area that I think Bronny can be critiqued is with his decision making and his feel for the game. So on this catch, his defender gambles for the ball and misses it. Instead of shooting the ball, he should drive to the paint and force help defense because he's more than likely going to get an open kick-out 3. But instead, he chooses to shoot this anyway, and it still ends up being contested. So when you're in a shooting slump, try and find other ways to impact the game and look for opportunities to get easy buckets. So here's a perfect example. They have a 4-on-2 transition advantage, and Reed Sheppard has to pick up the ball, so Bronny should be thinking about attacking the rim and getting an easy 2. Because if there's anything we've learned from LeBron James's career, which I'm assuming Bronny has seen tons of, anytime LeBron has an opportunity to sprint the floor in transition and get an easy bucket, he's going to take it because it builds confidence and it keeps your scoring momentum going. But when Bronny was in that same situation, instead of sprinting to the rim, he starts to slow down at the wing as if he wanted to get a catch and shoot 3, and that gave the defense time to get back, and he ends up getting his layup blocked. And what I think Summer League has exposed is that Bronny still needs to learn his role and understand the position of a 2 guard. You can see here in transition that he stops at the wing, and he should be sprinting to the dead corner because that's going to give him more room to make a decision, and then he ends up stepping on the line out of bounds, which is a classic mistake of someone who's not used to playing on an NBA court. And this isn't an indictment of Bronny not being able to play in the NBA, it's just exposing the fact that there are some nuances to playing this position that he is not ready for yet. And one of the biggest things is he struggles to get to the dead corner, which as an off guard, you should be the majority of the possession. And the reason why is that it puts the most space between you and your defender and you and the next offensive player for good spacing purposes. So instead of him getting an open catch and shoot 3, he lifts, which makes it easier for his defender to close out, and now he has a grenade. He's forced to shoot a very tough mid-range jump shot, which goes in, but it just puts a lot of stress on you as a shooter to continue to shoot these tough shots. And here's another great example. He should be standing in the dead corner and he never quite gets there. So as this screen is set and the big pops, he should either stay dead corner or he should cut to the basket, and he ends up doing neither. He gets caught in no man's land and doesn't make a good decisive decision, and that leads to him getting another grenade that has a very low percentage of going in. So his spacing and feel for his position are the 2 biggest things that he's going to have to work on. On this baseline drive, he should automatically be sprinting from the break to the corner to make this hammer pass easier, and it's going to bring more separation between him and the nearest defender. So now he's going to be forced to drive on this catch, but when he gets to this spot, the defender is trying to take a charge and he should kick it out to one of his open shooters, but instead he attempts this floater, which does get him to the free throw line, but he needs to make the game simpler. And another way he can simplify the game is by recognizing corner cuts. Especially with how athletic he is, he needs to find more opportunities to get to the rim. So as soon as his defender gets caught staring at the ball and Bronny is below the level of his defender, that should be an automatic sign to back cut, but he stays in the corner and ends up stepping on the line when he goes to drive. And this is definitely proven to be his pattern. As his defender goes to stunt at the strong side drive, he needs to back cut right now, but he stays in the corner and that forces him to have to do that same drive. And right here, instead of shooting this tough mid-range jumper over two defenders, he should kick it back to his leading scorer for an open three. And the reason these decisions are so important for his game specifically is that his strength is attacking the rim. He is an elite athlete who can run and jump with the best of them, and the majority of his brightest moments during these 4 games came as a result of him being very athletic. So my encouragement to him would be embrace who you are and continue to develop into the guy that you want to be, and don't feel like you have to do it all right now. And one of those areas of growth is going to be him learning how to be a playmaker. He scored his first NBA bucket on this zoom action, and when they ran that same action in a different game, he recognized that he drew that second defender and knew that the lob was going to be open, but he wasn't able to get this ball there and he turned it over. And against Houston, when they ran this pistol action where you get a screen and a flare and then he's going to receive this ball screen, and he does a nice job of getting downhill, but this ball should either be a lob to the big or he should hit his guy out of the corner who's back cutting, but instead he shoots this tough floater over the 5 and airballs it. The biggest takeaway message from this film that I think we can all learn from is you can't ever get tired of making simple, easy plays. Even on this possession when he scores, instead of challenging the shot blocker, when he steps up and the crackback defender is late, the easiest and most efficient thing to do is throw it to the big in the dunker. Now, something that I think is worth addressing is that none of us can understand the pressure that comes with being LeBron James' son and the scrutiny that he's under and the microscope that everyone has on him. So I'm sure that he is also dealing with the pressure of that, which is very difficult as you're becoming a pro yourself. But to me, it's undeniable that he has the talent to play in the NBA, so I'm excited to watch his journey as he grows and develops. Thanks for coming through. We'll see you next time in the film room.